So I attribute the recent success of the Omega MoonSwatch selling 2 million units in just 2022 alone down to two things. Firstly, of course, Omega being on the dial, strap and box propels this offering into interest. Secondly, the fun, funky colours allow the watch to be playful, exciting and bring out a person's youth. So in today's video we'll be taking a look at some fun, colourful and exciting MoonSwatch alternatives that you can actually buy. Oh, and they're all so much better quality too. Before we get into my top 5 suggestions, quick honourable mention here to Studio Underdog. The reason why they don't quite make the top 5 today is simple. Their watches sell out almost immediately. They are very hard to get hold of, which just shows the demand for these incredibly flamboyant chronographs. The watermelon model for me is just so much fun and captures the essence of what the MoonSwatch is all about. Not taking life too seriously, ditching the boring traditional black and white colour scheme and actually having some fun. Not to mention the beautiful seagull mechanical chronograph movement visible through the clear caseback. Just a stunning watch. A definite conversation starter with great specs and perfect wearing dimensions. So let's kick things off with a fun Speedmaster homage that is the best value for money on today's list. When I made my last MoonSwatch alternatives video, there was a massive uproar when I didn't include the Pagani PD1701. This watch is clearly a fan favourite amongst watch collectors for its incredible likeness to the Speedmaster with high quality materials being used. Now the most popular version of the Pagani Speedy is the all black version, of course the one most resembling the Moonwatch. However, we're having some fun in today's video, so the version I'm going to be going for is the Tiffany blue dial. Now the Mission to Uranus is also in this famous baby blue colour, so we do have a link to both the Speedmaster and the MoonSwatch with this pick. That being said, there's also plenty of other versions that also have the fun flamboyant look to them, so it comes down to how crazy you want to go. Another massive reason behind the success of the Pagani is without question the retail price. For around $100, this watch considerably undercuts that of the MoonSwatch, and considering the fact this watch is around $100, the specs on offer are just out of this world, pun intended. We have a full stainless steel case, crown, bracelet and clasp, a scratch-proof sapphire crystal and a ceramic bezel. Factor in the 100 meters water resistance and we have a spec sheet that rivals watches costing upwards of $1,000. Powering the Pagani Speedy, we have the Seiko VK63 Mecha Quartz movement. This has the reliability and accuracy of quartz while still having the feel of a genuine mechanical chronograph. This can be seen with the super smooth sweep of the chronograph seconds hand. Although personally I'm not a massive fan of homage watches, I do absolutely see the pure value on offer here from the Pagani PD1701, and if nothing else, it's certainly a lot of fun. Next up, this absolutely beautiful original design chronograph now comes in some very fun colours. Check it out. If you're like me and you like watches with their own unique story and history, then the Yema Rallygraf is the watch for you. This is a racing style chronograph that has an illustrious past dating back to professional car racing back in the late 60s. Motor racing icon Mario Andretti won multiple titles with the Yema Rallygraf on wrist. That original design still bleeds today into the Yema's modern catalogue. In early 2023, Yema released some new fun colourways of their legendary racing watch, coming in 3 very fun and colourful versions that have the same exciting vibe as the MoonSwatch. Now admittedly I do own the Yema Rallygraf, so I am a little biased here when it comes to this ticker. That being said, I absolutely love this watch. Here's why. The Rallygraf has perfect wearing dimensions, coming in with a 39mm case diameter, an 11mm thickness and a 48mm lug to lug. This watch fits my 6.5-inch wrist flawlessly. The curvature of the lugs means the case hugs the wrist and it's just so comfortable. Now my version is the classic Panda, however my new favourite is without question the new green variant. This one of course most resembles the Mission on Earth MoonSwatch. The green aluminium bezel has a lovely premium look to it. This is matched by the setback sandwich style subdials. The contrast between the white and green is eye-catching and breathes life into an otherwise tame watch. We have a stunning domed mineral crystal and 100 meters water resistance, meaning this is a genuine sport chronograph. Inside the Rally we have the aforementioned Seiko Mecha Quartz VK63. The Yema Rallygraf comes in at just over $300, making it slightly more expensive than the MoonSwatch, but factor in specs and more importantly history, then this piece is more than worth it. Coming up next we have a compact, lightweight titanium chronograph that is a hell of a lot of fun. Check this one out. This micro brand stands out for me above the rest for its pure quality. The Boldr Field Medic range is without question an amazing option when it comes to the affordable chronograph market. What the brand lacks in notoriety, it makes up for in pure quality and value for money. The Field Medic Salamander is a very fun and playful watch, featuring a black, grey and yellow camouflage style dial. This could have very easily made the watch look like a toy, or even worse, look childish. However, Boldr has somehow managed to pull off this design, looking very sharp and actually quite cool. I think the subdials really really help the design become one. All black backgrounds with solid yellow hands. As mentioned earlier, the case is made of full titanium, meaning it is much lighter than more traditional stainless steel watches, of course making them a much comfier wear. Speaking of, we have a 38mm case diameter, 12mm thickness and a 44mm lug-to-lug, making this watch perfect for smaller and average size wrists. This watch isn't just all looks though. We have an incredible 200 meters water resistance, sapphire crystal and anti-reflective coating, and the aforementioned Seiko VK63 Mecha Quartz movement. I wouldn't say this pick looks like a particular MoonSwatch, but it definitely has the same fun, playful vibe that the MoonSwatch lineup has. And if this particular version doesn't appeal to you, there's plenty of other colours in their catalogue too that will definitely fit your style. I absolutely love the case and shape and design of these Boldr watches. It's clear that they take inspiration from field watches, dive watches and chronographs, then try to design a watch that doesn't belong in one category. Hybrid watches, if you will. Then when you factor in the incredible materials being used, if you pick up a Boldr, you're onto a winner. Okay, enough with the Mecha Quartz chronographs. This one's for the collectors out there that only go mechanical. Fancy a manual wind chronograph with a fully loomed dial? Take a look at this. Hemel is a micro brand that seems to be doing everything right, making very high quality watches packed with all the right materials, and charging a very reasonable price too. Most of their offerings seem to be inspired by vintage aviation watches. The Hemel Airfoil is no exception. The main selling point of this watch is the movement. Flip the watch over and view the incredibly beautiful Seagull ST19 mechanical chronograph works. Finding a pilot's watch with a vintage design powered by a manual wind movement is difficult around this price. Hemel has done a great job integrating the movement into its very wearable case, coming in with a 40mm case diameter, 13.5mm thickness and a 47mm lug-to-lug. These dimensions are almost perfect and should fit any size wrist. Next, the Hemel's party trick is one that sometimes can look cheap, however when executed well it looks great. Of course we're talking about the Super Luminova C3 fully loomed dial. When the lights go off, the watch will glow like a strike of lightning at midnight. The contrasting black Arabic numerals and subdials mean the watch is legible against the loom. It's also great that in the daylight the dial has a lovely cream/yellow colour to it, suiting the vintage aesthetics of the watch very well. This watch isn't just all looks though. We have 100 meters water resistance, a full stainless steel case, signed push-pull crown, ceramic loom bezel and a domed sapphire crystal with AR coating. This watch is certainly the most sensible on today's list, but it is without question a lot of fun. Given the muted colour scheme, you will be able to switch up the straps and have a lot of fun switching up the style. Hemel Airfoil, great mechanical watch for just $500. So the final watch on today's list is an icon in its own right. We have a watch that has just as much hype as the MoonSwatch and is just as much fun too. Here it is. The MoonSwatch wasn't the only watch to break the internet back in 2022. Back in April, Casio released a watch that for a period of time was selling on eBay for more than retail price because of the hype around the watch. The G-Shock GA2100, better known as the Casio, took the enthusiast community by storm. Its striking resemblance to the AP Royal Oak cemented this piece as the coolest new watch to own. Not only does the G-Shock share the famous octagonal bezel that watch enthusiasts go nuts for, it comes in the incredible G-Shock carbon core case that means the watch can survive a world war and still keep ticking. The reason why it is such a good alternative to the MoonSwatch is because not only do we have tons of hype and brand cachet, but also because of the incredibly fun colours Casio has released with this model. My favourite without question being the all red version, of course most resembling the Mission to Mars MoonSwatch. If the reason you want a MoonSwatch is because of the idea of owning a watch that gets a nod of respect from fellow collectors, then the Casio is a watch that certainly does that. Most G-Shocks are massive, which sizes most people out of wearing them. However, the GA2100 is an exception in this regard, coming in with a 45mm case diameter, 12mm thickness and a 48mm lug-to-lug. Even though the watch looks large, it fits most size wrists, and because the watch only weighs 51 grams, it is an incredibly comfortable wear. If you're looking for a fun, great looking wristwatch, then the Casio is without question the one you should go for, especially if you have a more active lifestyle. This G-Shock will be your best friend. If there's any MoonSwatch alternatives you want me to cover in future videos, let me know down in the comments. For more watch suggestions, why don't you check out my video here on 10 affordable underrated watches enthusiasts should know.